Hi everybody, I just wanted to take some time today to talk about a site I've been using for online motion capture called Quickmagic.AI. So basically what this does is it takes a video from your phone, or any source really, and turns it into a 3D skeleton. The site has some examples here of what it does. So this is some pre-recorded video, which it then, with the magic of AI, turns into a 3D skeleton for 3D characters. So you can use these examples, but obviously what you want to look at this for is to make your own motions, your own custom animations. So let's have a look at how that's done. So basically you go to make a new project. I've got some here earlier that I've done previously. And all of this is just shot on my phone. It's pretty rough filming. It doesn't have to be anything pretty. And you import that video file. Now you have a number of points per month. I've added to mine, but what they give you per month is pretty generous. You can generally get a couple of animations done, shorter animations done in a month. If you've got some custom animations that you want to do that you can't find on a download site, you can generally get that done. And this is what my video looks like. So as I say, this is just shot straight off my iPhone. I think I've taken this into Premiere and I've reframed it to fill the screen and center myself a little better, so it looks a little blurry because it's blown up a bit. I've also kind of shot myself on a 3/4 angle, because sometimes when you're front onto the camera, what I found is it can get a bit confused about depth of images and exactly where the hands are. So yeah, 3/4 angle works a little better is what I found. And so yeah, once that's shot, I can just bring it straight back into Quickmagic and go to import video file, find the file that I just shot and open that up. Sometimes it might need to transcribe the video for you, but oftentimes it will come pre-transcribed if it's an MP4 video, and that's what it's done just here, and it's detected the person in frame, which is myself. Now let's say we don't want all of this video, we want just a portion of it, so we can set our endpoints like so, using these scissors here, and scroll along and choose an out point, and that's going to just convert that little piece of video into a 3D skeleton. So once we're happy with that, next thing to do is to choose our format selection. Now I've been working with Mixamo and taking that into iClone for cleanup. There's a bunch of options there, but this is what I've been working with. So you choose your selection and then go next. So this is where you have to be a little bit careful. So we want the full body, but we also have to make sure that hand is switched on to capture your hand and finger motions, because this is generally off by default and it's easy to miss. So that's probably the thing to be most careful of. Everything else is pretty much can be left alone. It tells you how much it's going to charge you for that conversion, and then you just click on let it go. It's going to upload the video, and then it's going to convert it into a 3D skeleton. So this, just for reference, this short clip here took about 7 minutes. So we'll just have a look at what the finished product. And there we go. So as you can see, it's pretty good. It's captured all the little hand motions and head motions and torso motions without too much noise. There's a funny little twitch on the hand at the end there, but it will do that kind of thing occasionally. So there will be some cleanup, which we'll have a look at how to do. But coming from a phone, coming from video, that's pretty impressive. And I've generally been very impressed with the results. So just going to copy that FBX animation now and put it into an animation folder for use on another character. So I've set up a folder of animations here, which I'm just going to paste it into, like so, and then that's ready to apply to whatever character you might want to apply it to with a Mixamo skeleton. So just for reference, this is the full motion. I didn't want to do the full thing because I didn't want to use up too many of my credits, but that gives you an idea of how much it's capturing, not just the hands and the arms and the fingers. The whole thing is just kind of there, and yeah, it's pretty good. So this is in iClone. Obviously you might not have access to iClone, but this is where I then bring the motion to do a little bit of cleanup. So I thought we'd have a look at that now and see how the cleanup works. So I'm just going to apply the motion to this Stormtrooper character here, and I do that by going to File, Import External Motion, and find the animation that we just made. Like so. It's going to ask what format you want to convert it to. It's on Mixamo by default, so we'll just leave it at that. And it loads it in, and there it is. Just set my in point there, and that's what we just made on a 3D character. So it's still got that little funny little hand twitch. So the first thing I generally do here is I want to smooth out some of the motions, because it's a little bit twitchy from the capture. So what I do is get some things out of the way here. I go to the animation layers and I unlock the base motion just by clicking on that twice and making sure that looks like the unlocked icon there. So what that does is gives you access to all the keyframes within this animation. So there they all are there for all the different parts of the body. So we're not going to go in frame by frame or anything like that. It's a very simple process in iClone. It's to smooth motion. So generally I'm going to give everything 2, except for the torso, which I might give a little bit more. But yeah, I'm just going down and adding a smoothing of 2 on all of these body parts. And bear in mind, this isn't going to work unless you unlock that layer. And that's the result. It's a little bit smoother, but a little bit less twitchy. Still got that funny little hand twirl at the end there, so let's get rid of that. And that's on the left arm. So I'm going to find just before it does that twirl, and then go into the left arm and delete all the keyframes after that on that track. So now it doesn't do the hand twirl anymore. It does sort of stop moving in a reasonably unnatural looking way. So what we can then do is go and add a new animation layer. And edit that animation to create a little bit of a hand motion there to replace the one that we took away. So obviously this isn't a tutorial in iClone and how iClone works. This is more for the quick motion, but it's just to illustrate that the animations, although they're pretty good, they're not perfect, and they will need a little bit of cleanup in whatever 3D software you do. But considering that it's coming, like I say, it's not using a motion capture suit, it's not just coming straight out of a phone, a blurry photo video at that, it's giving a pretty impressive result. Also, I know how I'm going to be using this shot. I'm going to be using it like just the top half of the body, so I'm not too worried about the fact that the legs and the feet are still sliding around a little bit on the ground here. So once again, it's good to know exactly how you're going to be using your shot and framing it so you know what to focus and concentrate on. So in this case, just the upper body. And this is the final product. So that's Quickmagic. As the name suggests, it's quick and it is kind of magical how it can get such a good result without any kind of motion capture suit. So if you're doing 3D animation and you're on a budget like I am, you can't afford the more expensive motion capture suits, this is a good, fast, cheap alternative. And it's surprising what you can get away with it in terms of complexity of movement. I've been quite impressed with what it can do. So yeah, give it a go. See you next time.